Good morning, everyone. My name is Tyler Barnett, and this is my presentation on why you should play Dungeons & Dragons. I know Dungeons & Dragons can seem like a game only nerds and geeks play within the confines of their mother's basement, but in reality, the game teaches some very valuable life skills. Take it from someone who didn't know how to properly handle social situations and got anxiety in crowds, D&D helped me realize that I had a +5 to charisma the entire time. To begin, let's start with an overview of what we will learn today. So, D&D, otherwise known as Dungeons & Dragons, can help with communication skills, working well with others, nurturing creativity, and improving problem-solving skills. Now, if you wouldn't mind, everyone please pick up their D20s and roll for initiative. Let us begin. In today's society, people are glued to technology. Through D&D, people can take a step back from that and learn not only to interact with others and learn to communicate effectively, they can learn to work in a team of like-minded individuals or individuals who don't agree, and can learn problem-solving skills while allowing creativity to blossom. According to NIMH.nih.gov, an estimated 9.1% of adolescents had social anxiety disorder, and an estimated 1.3% had severe impairment due to this disorder. With those statistics in mind, adolescents and others struggling, on average, individuals with social anxiety disorder have fewer friends and have more difficulty getting on with friends. The majority of people with social anxiety disorder are employed, however, they report taking more days off work and being less productive because of their symptoms. People may avoid or leave jobs that involve giving presentations, performances, or working with groups, as stated by NEBI, NLM.nih.gov. And finally, according to RaisingChildren.net, when teenagers learn skills and strategies for problem solving and sorting out conflicts by themselves, they feel better about themselves. They're more independent and better placed to make good decisions on their own. Parents hate to see their kids go down the wrong path, but some feel it's necessary for them to teach and learn new experiences. Furthermore, when kids learn to problem solve, they feel better about themselves. Kids can do this in Dungeons & Dragons. They can learn to problem solve, and they can do it in a safe and nurturing environment. Alright, everyone. Now that we've started our initiative, let's start with our attack actions. Roll for attack, and let's get started. Through the time that I've played Dungeons & Dragons, I have suffered from each issue that I mentioned prior. But through the fun of crawling through fictional dungeons and slaying fictitious dragons, I have learned effective ways to get past said issues. They include, but are not limited to, dungeon crawls. Making your way through a dungeon is a very daunting task, trust me. Maneuvering through traps and having to avoid items or rooms that are just there to kill you, it's a lot to handle. That's where the problem solving comes in. Maybe you have a rogue in your party that's good with thieves' tools and stealth, or maybe a wizard that has dispel magic. It's these wonderful problem solving skills that might just save you from a total party kill. Trust me, the other players will thank you for it. Then you have chaotic evil versus lawful good characters. Tell me, have you ever heard of the Joker teaming with Batman? Not in a million years, right? Well, in D&D, this is a regular occurrence. Party members will form, and they'll have lawful good characters, true neutral characters, and that one murderous, chaotic evil character who just wants to kill and steal everything from NPCs. It's the interactions you have with these types of characters that can save your party from splitting, which is all D&D veterans know is a terrible thing to have happen. After all, bad D&D is worse than no D&D. It's these interactions that will not only help you with difficult party members, but also that one boss that you have and won't just seem to give you the time of day at your real job. It may be hard to deal with in D&D, but the skills you gain from the tough times will allow you to be better equipped in your future endeavors. Finally, let's go to character creation. Ever been in a space where you had to be creative, but things just weren't flowing like they should, or you need to be judged? Well, here's the solution: D&D. Literally, you can create anything from naming your character Jim Balasabim and would be met with nothing but laughs and optimism from the rest of your party. So long as you don't jeopardize the party's fun, they shouldn't jeopardize yours. Alright, with your attack actions done, if anyone has any bonus actions, roll those now. You're almost done, and this problem seems like it's pretty much at half health. Let's see if you can beat it. Now, I'm sure some of you might be asking, but does Dungeons and Dragons really help with any of this? And my answer to that is yes, of course. Teenagers and adults alike struggle with the issues I previously listed. It's a common part of life. However, just because it's commonplace doesn't mean we shouldn't put an end to it. Therefore, the first benefit to D&D brings better confidence and the ability to better handle oneself during tough or just simple conversation, as one will have plenty of practice while adventuring with friends. Secondly, teenagers will be able to expand their skill sets and learn better and more effective ways to solve disputes and problems instead of lashing out or making a mistake that they will more than likely regret in hindsight, all in the comforts of a friend's kitchen table. No harm, no foul. Thirdly, people will learn how to better handle and express their creativity. With more creative minds out there, that could lead us to there being more authors, engineers, artists, chefs, and anything they want. D&D teaches us that we can not only have whatever we want in the fantasy world, but in the real world too. Lastly, Dungeons & Dragons helps people to come into their own skin. Trust me, before D&D, I was a kid who struggled with self-esteem issues, I didn't know who I was, and I didn't know my own worth. But with D&D and friends that helped me get through hard times, I finally kicked the self-loathing part of me down and leveled up to the person I really am. So, you killed the big bad evil guy and saved the world from certain death. Now that the hard part's out of the way, let's review, shall we? Looking back on things, I think we had a pretty good adventure, especially considering it was most of everyone's firsts. Great job. We beat our problem down with the solutions and learned the ins and outs of adventuring. But in case you forgot, Dungeons & Dragons can help you with building up confidence and learning effective communication, learning how to work with different people as a team, expanding your creative horizons, and becoming the best version of you. So what are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Grab those dice and those character sheets, find some friends and a good dungeon master, and get to the dungeon, adventurers. See you all there. And with that, does anyone have any questions or concerns?